few days ago, we saw the first Galaxy S26 dummy units, and yeah, that left us with a ton of questions. But now the official CAD renders are here, along with new info that clears up almost everything, including your favorite feature. When the Z Fold 7 dropped without S Pen support, just to shave off a few millimeters, and with the S26 Ultra also slimming down, fans started worrying. Is Samsung about to ditch the S Pen slot? Thankfully, according to Ice Universe, the answer is no. The S Pen isn't going anywhere. The S26 Ultra will still have the slot, just like the S25 Ultra. Honestly, that's a relief. Now, let's talk design. We've already seen the back of the phone, but the CAD info now gives us the full look at the front. Compared to the S25 Ultra, the S26 Ultra is not only slightly rounder from the edges, but also slightly bigger. We're talking about 0.6 millimeters taller and 0.3 millimeters wider. That also means a tiny display bump, something that was already reported a while back. But here's where things get interesting: the camera bump. The S26 Ultra is 0.4 millimeters thinner overall, but the camera bump itself is thicker than the S25 Ultra. And if you look at the CAD renders for the S26 Edge, it's even crazier. The phone itself is just 5.5 millimeters thin, but the camera bump is nearly as thick as the phone. So the real question is, why is Samsung doing this? And what does it mean for the S26 Pro? Well, we actually have a pretty good explanation. Starting with the Ultra, the only sensor that's getting a true upgrade this year is the 3x telephoto. But here's the thing, the 200 megapixel wide-angle sensor is also getting a 47%, and the 5x telephoto lens is getting a 38% wider aperture. That's huge. This means low-light photos and videos, one of the weak points of the S25 Ultra, should look way better now. The wider apertures also mean more natural background blur in portraits. But here's the catch, those wider apertures need about 1 millimeter of extra space. So yeah, the S25 Ultra might look cleaner, but without that base, the S26 Ultra would have ended up with crazy tall camera rings. And let's be real, that would have looked bad and felt worse. Now moving on to the S26 Edge. This one's also making a big jump. The ultra-wide camera is going from 12 megapixels all the way up to 50 megapixels. That upgrade alone takes more space. On top of that, the S26 Edge is getting a 300 mAh battery upgrade. But because the phone itself is thinner, Samsung pretty much had to make this giant camera bump just to fit it all in. Honestly, if Samsung had used silicon carbon batteries like they should have, this whole thing could have been avoided. We could have had a cleaner, more consistent design across the whole S26 family. And now, the S26 Pro. Since Samsung is ditching the base variant this year, a lot of people were hoping the Pro would bring some ultra-level features in a more compact form. Thankfully, that's kind of what's happening. For the first time ever, every non-Ultra phone in the S lineup is getting a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera. That's a big deal. If Samsung also gave the Pro a 200 megapixel main sensor, which I was really hoping for, then it would truly live up to its name. But even without it, the upgrade is solid. And one last thing before I wrap up. The S26 Pro and the S26 Edge are both getting another big change. It's not something you'd expect, but it could completely redefine the S26 series. Click right here for all the details. This is Techtics, and I'll see you there.